Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Rebel Rewind. My name's Christopher. With me, as always, is this guy from Sire Speed Reviews,
What's up,
Eric.
Chris?
How's it going?
I'm good, man. How's it
We
going with
uh
you?
we we missed last week. You
Yeah,
went away. You went to Florida. You
yeah,
you
went to
took a little
Florida.
trip to Florida.
Yeah,
My
Destin.
wife and I and my sister-in-law went to the east coast of Canada to deal with a storage locker, my father-in-law's storage locker
Okay.
that's been sitting there since he passed away. So
Oh, okay.
had to deal with that. Finally got to deal with that.
Okay.
So it wasn't much of a pleasure trip, but I did check out a couple of collectible stores.
Yeah, I saw some of
Yeah,
your videos.
yeah.
They got
So
some pretty cool stuff on the east coast of Canada. Or some
yeah,
stores.
yeah, yeah, and like fish and chips. We went for seafood one weekend or one evening for dinner. So that was good. Got some real East Coast seafood. So
Nice. I was
yeah,
watching you guys live stream yesterday.
yeah,
That's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
yeah. It was fun.
I like your latest pickup.
Yeah, yeah, and like I had mentioned it to you because like we shifted the time on
Yeah.
our stream the week before, and then it didn't end up happening that day. So yeah, that we got a call after we landed in Nova Scotia, and the shelter said that we can pick him up. So I had my brother and my mother-in-law pick him up for us,
Okay.
and then my mother-in-law watched him for the week. So
So what's his name? I know you said it yesterday. Was it Gunner or
Chopper.
Chopper? Chopper.
Yeah,
Nice.
Gunner was actually our last cat, the
Okay, okay,
cat that
okay,
passed away just
okay.
back in March there. So
Chopper.
yeah,
Okay,
yep.
nice.
So yeah, no, it's been fun. It's definitely different compared to having cats. So
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Oh,
yeah.
I got one
Uh,
pickup that I wouldn't mind
okay.
showing.
Okay. Yeah. Sure.
Oh, so I did a video when I went to Destin, Florida. Went to a
Yep.
Disney store outlet, and
Yeah, I
so
saw that.
I found this Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith
Oh,
vintage
nice,
collection, and I got it at
nice.
very decent price, man. So I think these are going like for 60 something originally, like 59.99. Got this
Yeah,
for 39. Actually, I got
yeah,
it cheaper than 39. I got a little extra
nice.
discount. So yeah, it was cool to pick that up. And
Now, did you like do you have a Disney store in Texas there, like near
no,
where you are, or no?
we
Yeah.
had, and they said they only have six stores left in the United States, or
Yeah,
six stores
and they're probably like in Florida and California,
probably. Yeah, so for
right?
sure they have
So
that outlet store in Destin, Florida, and dude,
yeah, and
it's
I
awesome.
think there's one in Vegas because like when we
Oh,
went to
Vegas,
Vegas
nice.
last year, yeah,
Cool.
there's one in Vegas for sure. So yeah,
Is it an outlet or is it just like a regular store?
that one was an outlet too. So
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I got
Maybe it's just outlets and they're just selling everything online, probably.
maybe yeah because they closed all of them up here in Canada too. Like we
Yeah,
had I enjoyed going to them
me
because
too, man.
like they had the steel books when they released the movies on
Hmm.
Blu-ray. You could get
Yeah,
the steel books from Disney, right? And you got the lithographs. So I have like all the lithographs from
sweet.
Force Awakens up to Rise of Skywalker. I think is the last one that they did steel book for there. So
That's cool, man. I picked up
yeah,
Leia Organa. I think it's like a 12-inch figure, and um, what's his name? Tarkin? No,
okay, yeah,
no. I
or
picked up.
Krennic,
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I grabbed two of those figures. That was like
nice.
like a while back. So yeah, you find some pretty cool stuff there. And
Yeah, yeah. It's unfortunate that they closed all the
yeah,
stores down like that, right? So
yeah. Well, I
we got
guess
Star Wars nerd in the chat says hello there.
hello
Hey,
there.
Star Wars nerd. Hello there.
Yeah, I went to, it's so funny. I went to a car meet in Houston, vintage car meet, and
Yep.
I found this guy was selling a bunch of random like Star Wars stuff, and I got a bag of just just some loose stuff like Kylo Ren and whatnot, and I ended up getting this for $1. So he's really badly. But I think what I'm going to end up doing is stuffing them and putting them. I got one of those little those
like a mannequin head or something.
Yeah, a styrofoam head. Yeah, and I'm just going to stuff it with a bunch of like plastic in there and just kind of reform it again. Just kind of have it just. Oh, I'm definitely going to repaint it gold. But yeah, so for $1, I'm like,
that's cool.
Yeah,
why not, right? Why not? Yeah.
I think it was a 1985 mask. I still have the little rubber part that came out. It's 1985. You can't see it, but
that's crazy.
Yeah.
So question for you before we jump into all our news stories. How are you feeling with no Star Wars this week? Because like this is like we've been 2 weeks without Star Wars. Like I'm feeling like Cyril on that bed when he left the dinner party where Pedro and his mom.
Dude, that's a meme right there.
Curls up on the bed there in the fetal position. That's how I'm feeling right now. There's no Star Wars to watch, right? We got nothing right now.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of curled up and just kind of.
Yeah. What do we do with ourselves, right?
Yeah. No, but I mean, it's a good time to like revisit the show and watch it
Yeah.
again.
Did you watch Rogue One after watching Andor?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. And it feels different now.
It does hit differently now.
It hits differently. Yeah.
Yeah. So many. I mean, it kind of makes you wonder, like, well, how did K2SO, die so quickly and as bad as he is on Andor? But it's all good. It's part of the story. And then then Jin and Cassian at the end when they passed away. And now you guys were talking about it that.
And you mentioned it was just like an embrace, like at the end, because they knew they were dying, right? So
last human embrace, and I thought that's very fitting, and it makes sense.
Yeah, but also like Saw Gerrera, like he was pretty messed up in Rogue One, right? Like he was like very paranoid, and now we know why. It was all the fumes, right, that he was addicted to, right? So
and it eats you up too. And it was saying just like you said, it eats you up, and that's probably how he lost the leg.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure it was.
Yeah.
So so it just it does hit differently now after watching Andor season 2, right?
And just the whole the leading up to it, and then especially the last episode. Wow.
Yeah.
Great.
What do you say we jump into some news? Because I think we got some juicy stuff. I know there's one story you probably won't be too happy with, but let's jump into our news here. Yeah.
All right.
So
rapid fire.
Oh, rapid fire. Oh,
rapid fire.
Let's do the rapid fire. Hold on. Let me get our intro here. I forgot about the rapid fire. Let's start with the rapid fire.
Rapid fire. All right. Okay, so this is a real quick. I don't have a lot. There's really a slow week, but VFX special effects artist Bruce Logan passed away today at the age of 78. He worked in 2001, A Space Odyssey, Batman Forever, Tron, some other movies. But he was in charge of blowing up the Death Star in Star Wars: A New Hope. He spoke with the Los Angeles post-production group back in 2020 in an interview that blowing up the Death Star was his greatest PR coup, but it was in fact very low budget, low tech. Ariana Greenblatt gets her first Hot Toys collectible figure based on when she played Padawan, Ahsoka Tano, in the Ahsoka series based off the Clone Wars era Ahsoka Tano. Lastly, this week in Star Wars history, May 26, back in 1913, Peter Cushing, aka Grand Moff Tarkin, was born in Kenley, Surrey, England, and passed away back in 1994. Peter Cushing's portrayal of Tarkin was one for the books, as he shook us to the bone with his cold and brutal portrayal of the Moff that held Vader's leash and with no hesitancy blew up Alderaan for just a show demonstration of the power of the Death Star. So that's pretty much the rapid fire news segment for today.
Nice. Yeah, pretty slow week for news.
Yeah, for sure.
I agree. But yeah, let's jump into our first story there again. Now that we got the rapid fire out of the way. So this story I kind of thought was interesting. So Ryan Reynolds reveals he pitched an R-rated Star Wars movie to Disney. So Ryan Reynolds has revealed that he has an idea for an R-rated Star Wars movie. That he pitched to Disney. The Deadpool actor revealed his idea while speaking on an episode of the Box Office podcast, which was reported by Variety. Coming off the success of his R-rated Marvel Cinematic Universe movie Deadpool and Wolverine, it seems he now has his sights on a galaxy far, far away. So no details about what the story have been made clear. But it seems that the idea would be to explore a new story, moving away from the established cast of what Reynolds calls A-list characters or A-plus characters, and focusing either on supporting characters or an entirely new cast. So he said, quote, I pitched Disney, I said, why don't we do an R-rated Star Wars property? It doesn't have to be overt A-plus characters. There's a wide range of characters you could use. So this approach certainly paid off recently with Andor. While not R-rated, the series from Tony Gilroy has pushed the galaxy into a darker, more mature tone. Which almost R-rated, yeah, for sure. There were certain points that were like borderline. So, and it was also focused on supporting characters, giving spotlight to characters like Mon Mothma, who gave that incredible speech in one of the later episodes, who only had brief scenes in the previous Sega entries, and an entirely new cast who weren't overt A+. So Ryan Reynolds also said, and I don't mean R-rated to be vulgar, R-rated as Trojan horse for emotion. I always wonder why studios don't want to just gamble on something like that. And then he continued saying, I'm not saying I want to be in it. That would be a bad fit. I'd want to produce and write or be a part of behind the scenes. Those kinds of IPs subsist really well on scarcity and surprise. So we don't really get scarcity really with Star Wars because Disney Plus, but you can certainly still surprise people. So that'd be pretty interesting if they did do an R-rated movie.
Yeah.
Reynolds doesn't comment on how Disney received his pitch, so it will likely be some time before we hear any news on the pitch, if it ever happens. We do know Lucasfilm supposedly has a Star Wars horror project in the works that that genre seems to end up being R-rated more often than not. So in the meantime, the next movie project to come out will be next year's Mandalorian and Grogu, which we're less than a year away now, like May 2020 or May 27th, right? Mm-hmm. I think it is. So we're a little less than a year away now. And then that will be followed by Starfighter by director Sean Levy, who previously collaborated with Reynolds on Deadpool and Wolverine and Free Guy. So what are your thoughts on an R-rated Star Wars movie?
Yeah, we kind of talked about this briefly before in another little story. I think it would work if it was to be like a horror type, film.
Yeah, it just has to be horror, or like very gritty, like Andor, right? Which is like more violent.
Yeah,
like that. That's all you have to do is just push it over the edge with a little more violence, right? Like it doesn't have to be vulgar. It doesn't have to be all that stuff.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. It's like not overly vulgar or anything like that. Just pushing it to the limits. But and I think a nice little maybe film would be like if they were to do like a Clone War era with like the clone troopers or stormtroopers, maybe further back stormtroopers like the zombified stormtroopers or something like that, or I don't know, something along those lines. I think that would work really well for Star Wars.
Yeah, another thing, like, I gotta give Ryan Reynolds respect for saying like he realizes he wouldn't be a good fit for Star Wars.
Yeah,
He's like, I don't want
I
to be in
agree.
it. I just want to produce it and be behind the scenes. So
Or if he wants
like,
to be like a character in Mask, he's
right,
too recognizable.
like I like that he's being honest. Like he wouldn't be a good fit for it. So
Yeah,
yeah, I like that. So, but
yeah,
yeah, no, it should be interesting if like who knows, maybe the horror project that they're working on is Ryan Reynolds' pitch,
who knows? They haven't
right?
said,
They haven't said
just
anything.
kind of like spoke about it, right? It wasn't like
Yeah,
anything attached to it.
no,
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. And like Tony Gilroy's been saying, like pushing the envelope. Why don't we try
yeah,
this? Why don't we try that? Then
yeah. Why not?
they can
Right?
just give it a try, and if it don't work out, then don't do it again.
Yeah.
But I think a
I
horror
mean, you're not
probably
gonna
be
please everyone. So like, even if they do a horror Star Wars film, there's gonna be some fans that'll like it.
yeah,
Maybe not everyone, but like there are gonna be a good chunk of fans that'll probably like it.
yeah, yeah.
So
I mean, I don't know if anybody got any ideas on what their pitch would be for like Ryan Gosling, no, Ryan Reynolds, put this idea out there. I don't know what you guys think in the comment section. What do you guys think would be the best fit for something like that?
yeah,
Film. But I
yeah,
think like the best way would be the horror in the horror genre.
yeah, yeah.
So we got some first Nielsen ratings for Andor. We talked about
Nice.
Andor a few seconds ago. So Andor first Nielsen ratings are in. Series hit weekly high with 721 million minutes watched. So Nielsen has revealed that the streaming numbers for the first week Andor season 2 was available on Disney Plus. The show hit 721 million minutes viewed between April 21st through 27th, an all-time weekly high for the series. Deadline reported. The statistics might be slightly biased, though, as season 1 there were only 1 week where 3 episodes were released. It was also the first week it came out. So when Nielsen measured 624 million minutes, kept in mind that the now reported 721 million minutes does not distinguish between season 1 and season 2 views. It also
Yeah,
includes the 15 episodes released up to the end of that week. So the series ranked at number 10 overall streaming show, barely making the chart, but it made the chart right after Young Sheldon, which is streaming on Max. And Andor held the number 4 spot right after 3 Netflix shows. However, The Last of Us, which hit 937 million minutes over the same period of time, does not rank here because it qualifies as an HBO series that is then available to stream on Max. But the numbers for the subsequent weeks of season 2 release will be revealed over the next month. But based on how this typically behaves, expect a drop for the second week, and then for the show to rebound another peak on the week of the finale. So
nice.
so yeah, I'm assuming they're going to do larger numbers because the people who actually didn't watch it live, are now watching it again because of word of mouth.
Yeah, yeah. Or the ones that like waited
Oh
till
yeah,
to binge watch it, right?
yeah. So I think 741 million?
Yeah,
No, 721 million minutes watched for that time span of a week.
yeah. I think that'll go. I
April
think that'll go
21st,
up.
27. I think that's pretty
That's really good.
commendable for, and it being number 10 on the Nielsen ratings list for that
Yeah,
time. So I think it did pretty well. I mean, it by show of support, and I think so many people love the show. Watch it again,
yeah,
multiple times.
yeah, yeah. That's how you show.
Yep.
That's how you really show Disney that you like a show or you don't like it. So like people who complain, like say about the Acolyte, for example, like you guys still watched it. So like to really show Disney that you didn't like it, just don't watch stuff, right?
Yeah.
Or vice versa. If you want Disney to know that you liked a show or a movie, like it, like watch it, just watch it over and over again, like
For
Eric said.
sure. Yep.
So
Yeah, they monitor these numbers. So I was in the camp. I love this. Love the first season, and
yeah,
this second season just wow, it really
and
went
you know
above
that
and
they
beyond.
started similar too. Like the first season started slow too. It was a slow burn as well, and the second season was the same way. Like with the first 3 episodes, the first arc, it was a little bit slower, but like we talked about it got better each week.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, dude, that first season, the prison scenes, dude, that was so good, man.
That was fantastic.
Yeah. So I'm like, we got the similar. You have your story arcs and stuff like that within the season 2, and then like within every 3 episodes, you got your little story arc. So it's amazing, man. These guys know how to really. These guys know how to really write a story.
Yeah.
I love to see him to do like a big budget, like another Rogue One. I know he said he was done with Star Wars, but please come back and do something else, man.
Yeah, right. Give him a movie. He needs to do a movie, and Bryce Dallas Howard needs to get her own project, whether it be a movie or a series or whatever, right? Hey, Patrick. Patrick says hello, fellas.
Patrick.
He said I've watched it multiple times already.
Nice. There we go.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Cool.
So jumping into the next story. So this one, I know Eric's probably not too fond of the news here, but Rian Johnson is still interested in making his Star Wars trilogy. And like, I don't think they ever actually officially axed the project. Like it's just kind of sitting in limbo right now. I think in this article they even mentioned it's a matter of when, not if, or whatever. But director Rian Johnson expressed his desire to return to the Star Wars universe for his announced trilogy. Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi, director Rian Johnson may not be done with Galaxy Far, Far Away quite yet. His announced new trilogy has received few concrete updates since its initial announcement, but the director promised in a new interview that he isn't finished with the franchise. In an interview, Rian Johnson reiterated his interest in returning to the Star Wars universe. Johnson's The Last Jedi was widely profitable at the box office, but it remains one of the franchise's most divisive films following its 2017 release. So that divisiveness didn't stop Disney from announcing during its 2017 quarterly shareholder meeting that Johnson would helm a new Star Wars trilogy. In 2020, Netflix bought a pair of Knives Out sequels for a whopping $469 million. That cemented Johnson's involvement in the deal, and updates on the long forgotten trilogy stopped coming out over the subsequent years. So the lack of progress provoked rumors that Johnson's trilogy was axed, though he continued to express his desire to return to Star Wars. Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy debunked the cancellation rumors, promising that the delay was due solely to the Knives Out commitment on Netflix. So Johnson would be the happiest person revisiting Star Wars. So in an interview with The Independent, Johnson was asked about the status of his long dormant Star Wars trilogy, and he said, quote, wouldn't rule out it becoming involved with Star Wars again happening down the line. He said, I mean, I kind of went down the murder mystery rabbit hole. I'm focused on making other stuff, but I wouldn't rule out it happening down the line. If I get back in the Star Wars universe someday, I'd be the happiest person. So while he admits the Knives Out franchise had been taking his creative energies away from the Star Wars universe, his clear enthusiasm for the franchise hasn't waned. So, he's hopeful. It's hopeful to hear his optimism about the trilogy's potential or future potential. He also discussed controversies that plagued The Last Jedi through at the time. Though at the time, Johnson described the online area as incredibly painful. Today, he has more positive reflections about his time in the franchise. In the interview, he admits experiencing wars between the Star Wars fans, which I mean, that's been
A war
happening
he
for
started.
years.
A war he
I
started.
mean, I mean, to be fair, it's been happening for a while. Like, there's been wars since the prequels, like the original trilogy fans that didn't like the prequels. Like, it's been happening for a long time, really. So,
All right. Okay, hear me out.
Okay.
Okay, I got a pitch for him. One movie, only one movie. All right, and it'll be a alternate universe. It'll be Dark Side Ray, and Palpatine. A what if scenario where if she was to follow her grandfather's footsteps. That's all I want from him, because that's the best thing for me that came out from his film. So I mean, be a nice little side story is what if, and I think I'll be happy with that. I'll be happy with that. Mean, that's all I want from him.
I like The Last Jedi. Like, it's my favorite of the sequel trilogy, and it's up there like as one of my favorite Star Wars movies, like after Return of the Jedi and Empire Strikes Back and Revenge of the Sith. So it's up there for me. So I'd actually be excited to see Rian come back to Star Wars, whether it's like one movie or a trilogy. But I think he's got a lot of potential, because like his other work, aside from Star Wars, like whether you like The Last Jedi or not, I really enjoyed it. But like his other work, like Knives Out it was brilliant. Knives Out was brilliant. Yeah. Glass Onion was brilliant. Looper, which is a great time travel.
Looper? Oh, movie. He made
Looper.
He was oh wow.
He did Looper with Bruce Willis and Joseph Gordon-Levitt. That was him.
Okay.
Like, he's done some great stuff. Yeah. So maybe if he moved away from the Skywalker saga, which it seems like they're trying to do now with Starfighter and the Mandalorian and Grogu. So give him something else. Like, I'd like to see what else he can do.
Yeah, I mean, I like to see him do some. I mean, really dark. Some.
Like maybe he could do like a murder mystery set in Star Wars. Like, we kind of saw that. With the Acolyte.
We got that. Acolyte.
But like, I mean, if he did like non-Force users, like, right?
I say he let him have that one film. Ray movie.
One is in the chat as well.
Oh, okay. I said one. I was like,
Darth Poole, the Green Kyber Lantern. R.I.P.S.W. Right.
So did he do RSP? What is it? R.I. Which movie was that with I'm just R.I.
I think he's referring to the Ryan Reynolds stuff, right? Okay. Green Kyber Lantern, Green Lantern. Finger Red #1.
Yeah.
So go on. You were saying that one movie though, eh?
Yeah. Give him one movie. It'll be the Ray Palpatine with Palps. And then her killing Palpatine and becoming the new emperor or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just like a what if.
Like I said, like just give him something away from the Skywalker saga, which it seems like they're doing anyways. They're trying to move away from it with Starfighter and stuff. So if he does something different, like I said, a murder mystery, because like he does murder mystery very well. It doesn't have to be Force users. It doesn't have to be Jedi. It doesn't have to be Sith. It can be new characters. Who knows? Like, maybe it's set original trilogy. Maybe it's like the Empire are the good guys, of his story.
Yeah.
Investigating stuff. I don't know. There's a lot of possibilities.
Yeah. I mean, right? He's really good at those murder mystery movies. So
yeah.
if they did something
Yeah.
like that, I guess that would be all right.
Yeah.
Yep. So
But
all right.
we'll just agree to disagree on this one.
All right. So we got Screen Actor Guild AFTRA files charges over use of AI Darth Vader voice in Fortnite. There was a lot of stuff going on. Like there's like some I was reading another story about how to utilizing Vader, like he's like cussing and stuff like that. So I'm like, wow, I mean, they got the okay to use the AI voice, AI Vader for this new Fortnite. And this is the first project, I think. No, not the first project, but the first game utilizing that. I think so. But yeah, Vader, come on now. Having Vader cussing on video games. But anyway, so Llama Production, the signatory company behind Fortnite, has been charged with unfair labor practices by SAG AFTRA, the Actors Union, over the recent addition to Darth Vader in the Battle Royale game. A story by The Hollywood Reporter states that the charges relate to the use of AI to replicate the voice of James Earl Jones, which, I mean, he lent his voice for that.
He gave them the permission, right? He was like, yeah, do it.
So it says, which allegedly infringes on the agreement made between the game and company and the union. So last week, Epic Games added Vader to Fortnite as part of the ongoing crossover Star Wars. A key feature of this new boss for the game is the ability to interact via voice chat with the iconic character and hear the voice of James Earl Jones in response to their interactions. The use of AI to recreate his voice is not new, and the late actor gave his permission, as we talked about. And since the Vader, so they use it in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series before he passed away, although this is the first posthumous use of this technology, which was used by the blessing of Jones's family. Let's go on to a little section over here. It says, however, SAG AFTRA claims that the move was made unilaterally and without giving the union or the actor they represent a right to bargain over the use of the AI voice, which replaces a role that would previously have been filled in by a voice actor, because they have voice actors, I think, they utilized in other games. I forgot the gentleman's name who does Vader's
in the Lego Star Wars and stuff, right?
Yeah. So in a statement, the union said the following: we must protect our right to bargain terms and conditions around the use of voice that replace the work of our members, including those who previously did the work or matching the voice Vader's iconic rhythm and tone in video games and other video games. So they're basically saying, though, well, why using the voice, the AI voice, when you can use the other actors who gave their voices to the character before. So it's not new, like, to use other actors besides James Earl Jones, with the numbers of actors who have voiced his in previous games and Jedi Fallen Order, Lego Star Wars Skywalker, Vader centric VR experience, Vader Immortal. They expressed that it concerns that more voice acting roles could be replaced by AI and an ongoing dispute with the game industry over the potential use of AI to replace paid actors across the industry. So I mean, I
get where the union's coming from. I get where the union's coming from.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, because I'm looking at the cast for what was it, the summer vacation Lego Star Wars movie they had on Disney Plus.
Yeah,
and a voice actor named Matt Sloan played the voice of Darth Vader. So, like, I get where they're coming from. Like, one of their voice actors could have done the voice for it, but like, times are changing. Like, AI can do incredible stuff, and if it's a cheaper option,
and that's
do it for like a couple lines during the game, right? Like,
that's where the unions are, upset about it, and that makes sense. Other actors that could be utilized, like, well, you're going to give it to the AI. Well, do you know how many voices that the AI can manipulate or do? That'd be so many actors we would be without a job because of the fact that they're utilizing.
Yeah, so I do get that part of it, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's a tough thing, and it's one of those, it's going to be.
I guess they gotta like draw. They gotta draw a line and make that line clear. Like, okay, video games, we're gonna use AI for voices, and then like cartoons and stuff like that, we'll use live like actors to do the voices and stuff.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, because I know, like I said, this is the voice of James Earl Jones, but utilizing AI. So I was like, where do you draw the line at? So it's
so I wonder, like,
hard call, especially when you
I wonder if James Earl.
Actors.
Yeah, I wonder if the estate of James Earl Jones gets any money from them using his voice.
Oh yeah, there's a contract that they've done.
Yeah,
so it could fall back on the family. You say, okay, well, we're going to say, let's say we're going to use them for movies. We're going to use AI, James Earl Jones' voice for movies and animation, but on video games we'll have a voice actor to do it, or maybe they're the one that can draw the line. And I don't think it falls on them. I think it falls on how the contract was written or how.
Yeah. No, they definitely have to like define that line and have it very clear, right? So
yeah.
So like I do understand why the union is upset, right? So yeah, I do understand that.
Yeah, for sure.
But here's another article I found quite interesting. How would you feel about Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson being in Star Wars?
Oh man, I mean,
right? So
not as
yeah.
Let him be. Go ahead, Chris. My fault, Chris. Go ahead.
It's okay. So after reading this, I was like, you know what? It could work. So Dwayne Johnson in Star Wars is possible if they bring back one bounty hunter even deadlier than the Mandalorian. So Lucasfilm could introduce Dwayne Johnson into the Star Wars universe, as he is the perfect man to play one of the deadliest bounty hunters. So the Star Wars universe is no stranger to reinvention with every new trilogy, series, and spin-off. Lucasfilm continues to expand the galaxy with new characters, old legends, and unexpected casting choices. And if the latest online buzz is anything to go by, fans might be ready for the most eyebrow-raising addition yet, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. So while the idea may seem far-fetched at first glance, which I think you agree on right now, there's a surprisingly plausible path for Johnson to make his Star Wars debut by trying his entry to a bounty hunter feared even more than the Mandalorian himself. So the combination of imagery, tone, and the franchise's ongoing push for star power has reignited theories about where Star Wars could go next. And if Lucasfilm is looking to elevate the next phase with more global appeal and action-heavy narratives, The Rock might just be the wild card that fits the bill. So the recently shared footage compares old Clone Wars era dirge visuals with what appears to be a heavily armored figure riding a speeder through a war-torn landscape. The thick armor, shoulder-heavy silhouette, and overall bulk are exactly where Dwayne Johnson could fit into the universe. So, for those unfamiliar with dirge, he's a Jedi. Hopefully I'm pronouncing it right, a species known for their extreme longevity, regenerative abilities, and nearly indestructible bodies. First introduced in Star Wars: The Clone Wars 2003, the Tartakovsky series, Dirge was a separatist secret weapon, often pitted against Jedi and clones alike. He didn't fear death because he couldn't really die, or at least not easily. So a character like Dirge can only be killed in one of two ways: by throwing him into the sun or blowing an atomic bomb on him. That's a character, if played someone as revered as Johnson, would not only excite fans of the franchise, but even the casual movie fans. So I do agree with that. Like he does have that build that
Yeah.
Dirge has, right?
Hmm.
So I'd be all for it. I would be all for it. What are your thoughts on it
Yeah.
now after hearing the article?
Yeah, I think I'm okay with that because I mean I I don't his acting is like really, I mean he does good stuff, and this movie that he
But yeah,
put
his
out,
acting
the
his
trailer
acting
for
is the
that new
same.
movie. Well,
Yeah,
this
for the boxing movie,
yeah,
yeah,
I
that
mean
looks really good. The
he's
MMA fighter or whatever it is.
yeah, he's got some
Yeah,
good acting chops here. He's proven
he
that he's
does.
an actor.
Right?
Um, if we can get that, that'd be awesome. He's got the bulk for the character. I mean,
Yeah.
he, at first I'm like thinking about The Rock in Star Wars, and I'm like
Yeah, I know. I
putting
saw the
him
article too, and I was like,
as
really? And then I
this.
read it, and I
Okay,
was
this
like,
makes sense.
it could, yeah, it
I'm
could
okay
work,
with this.
right?
Yeah,
He's got that bulkiness that Dirge has, right?
yeah,
Like the big upper body, the big
yeah,
shoulders, and then like the slimmer, like, yeah, he's got
yeah,
the look.
yeah, yeah. He
So
can.
I think it could work.
I think so too. I was hesitant about even mentioning Star Wars. I mean, The Rock in the Star Wars film, but something
Right?
like that I think would work. And it's not likely you're showing his face, because that
Yeah.
his face is okay. We see The Rock. It just takes you off from anything you're watching. Okay, this is The Rock. I mean, he does all his characters are pretty much the same guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like this movie, I mean, it looks totally different, and he's actually acting, and it's
Yeah.
so the trailer for this new flick that he's working on or he's doing. But yeah, if he was to do something like that or not show his face and just be in character or in in armor the whole time, that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it could work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
I say yes. check it
I
out.
say yeah too. Yeah. Yeah. So
So stop.
some interesting stuff. Some returns to Star Wars potentially. Some new actors and new stuff going on with Star Wars, possibly an R-rated Star Wars in the future. So interesting stuff for sure.
Yeah. For being a slow Star Wars week, like when it comes to news and no shows to talk about it.
Like I said, it really feels like we're Cyril curled up in the fetal position from.
But we dug deep and we found some pretty good stuff, man.
Yeah, right. Because I mean, typically, like they would have done like 2 or 3 episodes for the first week, and then we'd have an episode a week. So we would still be watching Andor if it was like 1 episode a week.
But then again, like it would, like we were saying,
it wouldn't play out the same. It wouldn't play out the same with the three episodes for one year, and each 3 episodes being directed by the same director. So it's like 3 movies, right?
So I mean,
I don't think it would have worked
if it was just one episode per week. That would have worked.
Yeah,
but 2.
No. How would you feel? How would you feel like if they dropped the entire season all at once, similar to how like Netflix does, right?
Yeah, I kind of overheard, or not overheard, but I read this article stating that it's a possibility that he works on something to make this a condensed version of the series into a movie.
Yeah, so I think I read that too.
Yeah,
possibly. I'm talking about like in the future, if they say release the Ahsoka series season 2, if they released it all at once, just like the whole season is out on this date rather than week to week. How would you feel about that?
What are you talking about, the Ahsoka series?
Well, just hypothetically, let's just say going forward, if they decided to be like, instead of doing week to week, we're gonna give you all the episodes all at once on one date.
I think
Netflix does that. They've done that with some series,
I got what you're saying.
Like how would you feel about that?
I think it works better if they did the drops, like weekly drops for a series, because once it's out there, people watch it 1, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then it'll fizzle out. But if you for like a month or so, and you just kind of drop an episode or 2 episodes, or in this case 3 episodes a week, for 4 weeks, it kind of has a longevity, and people are still talking about it. It builds up that momentum for you, for especially for the season finale.
Yeah.
So I think it just
I'm
works
kind of
out.
on the fence because like I do like binge watching
Mhm.
series too. So like
Yeah.
if they like, again, hypothetically, if they were like, okay, Ahsoka season, the whole season's getting dropped on this date, like I could sit down and watch it like
Yeah.
in a weekend, right? And just it's all fresh.
Yeah.
Rather than being like,
as a fan, it works out. It works out better in that way. But for a company, it works out better when they draw it out. And you gotta have that building up that momentum,
Yeah.
But as a fan, it works. It would work out better. We get it all, like, we could just binge watch. Yeah.
And it would just be like it would all be fresh rather than like going into the next week and you're like, okay, well now I got to rewatch the first
That's
episode.
Why they do it, because they want you to
why they do it.
Now.
Yeah, absolutely. That is absolutely why they do it.
Mm-hmm. So. It's like, oh dang it, I forgot what happened last week. So let's
what happened last week? Now I got to rewatch that and then go into the next one. Yeah.
So for as a business, it works out better that way. But
yeah, for sure.
Who wouldn't want to watch just sit there and watch the whole thing?
The whole season, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
of course.
But I think that pretty much does it for this week's episode. Next week, hopefully there'll be some more Star Wars news and rumors to talk about. And behind the scenes here, we're kind of working on some other stuff for some slower news weeks. So looking at lining up some guests for future episodes as well. So that'll be fun. But yeah, thanks everyone for watching and joining us in the chat this evening, and we'll see everyone in the next episode.